Special business session minutes. Item number 2, consider approving the February 17th, 2022 business session minutes. Item number 3, consider authorizing a contract under construction inspection services contract, RFP number 2019-061 for the culvert inspection project with George Butler Associates at a cost not to exceed $178,678. And item number 4, consider approving the reappointment of Emily Coleman Haldego, 3rd District Representative to the Southeast Consolidated Zoning Board through December 31st, 2024.
Mr. Vos, are you present? Any comments you'd like to make?
Yeah. Good morning, Jeff Vos with Public Works. This item is an authorization for a comprehensive inspection and inventory of approximately 1,100 culverts, side structures in the unincorporated area of the county. This will allow us to prioritize repairs and replacement of these structures in a cost-effective manner. It will also make these structures eligible for county stormwater management funds. We talked to the firms under our term and supply contract for inspection and selected George Butler and Associates. George Butler and Associates has assisted Public Works with data collection in the past and already has a collection system set up to feed directly into our asset management database. This will save approximately $200,000 in startup costs over the other firms. So we recommend approval of this contract. And are there any questions?
Questions of this item? Mr. Ashcraft.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Voles, before next week, I'd like to visit on this. It can stay on consent, but I'm struggling a little bit with getting the numbers to line up in my brain, so if you could.
Okay, all right. Other questions? Ms. Hensley?
Yes, I have a question for legal counsel in regard to consent agenda item number 4 regarding the reappointment of Emily Coleman Hidalgo. Is there any prohibition against appointing someone who has submitted a notice of intent to file a claim against the county surety holder?
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, at this time, this issue does not fall under our current code of conduct under Standard 101 as it relates to duty of loyalty. I did request that this be pulled and looked at this. Basically, there's no policy. Ms. Coleman filing that action does not pertain to her governing duties and in her role on that board. So as such, as a result of her filing, should not have an effect on your consideration of her appointment to that board.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that clarification.
So why, we just voted on this last year.
Right.
Why is this up again?
Because the term expired.
It's a 1-year term
No,
last year?
no.
It was
She was filling the
it was a short term. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
She was filling an unexpired term, and it terminated in December, and so she was a holdover. I also just want to let the board know, and I gave you copies of letters of recommendation for her reappointment from Kenneth Clinging-Smith, who is vice chair of the Southeast Zoning Board, and then also Sheriff Hayden. So anyway, but thank you for the questions.
All right.
That's a great recommendation.
Okay, these items will stay on consent. Moving to the action agenda.
Item number 5, resolution number 012-22, application number SC 21-178-CUP SP. Consider a request from Ron and Pam Janes, landowners, for the renewal of a conditional use permit for an oversized accessory building on property in Section 30, Township 14, Range 24, located at 17884 West 183rd Street.
Staff?
Good morning, Michelle Leiniger, planning staff. Again, this is a conditional use permit renewal. This property is just west of the intersection of Brenner and 183rd Street. The original CUP was approved in 2011 for 10 years. The subject property is outlined in blue in the aerial in front of you and is approximately 1.4 acres in size. The surrounding area is zoned RN1, which is a residential neighborhood district, with the property to the south side of 183rd Street being zoned rural. The applicant was approved for the construction of the 2,400 square foot accessory structure that you see at the northeast corner of the aerial in 2011. The CUP also includes a 324 square foot shed just north of the house. Hard to see on the aerial, there's trees around there. Here's a aerial picture of the existing accessory building and the landscape buffer that was installed per the stipulations of the approval of the conditional use permit. And the construction and site has been maintained per the stipulations of the approved 2011 permit. We have received no complaints regarding the accessory building. The February 2nd, 2022 Southeast Zoning Board meeting, staff recommend approval of conditional use permit to allow for the continued use of the accessory building and shed on the subject property, subject to the stipulations. The board also recommended approval, and no one spoke regarding this item at the meeting, and I can answer any questions.
Questions? Well, this is a planning item, will remain on action. Next item.
Item number 6, RFP number 2021-079. Consider authorizing term and supply contracts to 9 vendors for stormwater management services in an amount not to exceed $750,000 for a 1-year period with 4 additional 1-year renewal options.
Public Works staff. Mr. Pedig.
Good morning, Commissioners. Madison Crowell with the Stormwater Management Program. The Stormwater Management Program uses these term and supply contracts as an instrument to expand the skill sets, expertise, and capabilities of the program for the various specialized needs of the program without the addition of FTEs. The 9 firms that were selected have committed a team of qualified personnel that we have access to throughout the year with their billing rates locked in. These firms will act as an extension of our staff. On an as-needed basis, we will contract with these consultants to provide specific skill sets that stormwater management program staff do not have, or complete work that we would otherwise not get completed in a reasonable time frame. Other county departments have taken advantage of these contracts. With the inclusion of a cooperative clause, any governmental entity in Johnson County can use these contracts, and we have some cities that are very interested in utilizing them moving forward. These contracts streamline our administrative, legal, and purchasing processes by pre-qualifying firms without having to go through the purchasing and legal department each time we need support. Additionally, the ARPA requirements were included as an option in the contracts, which will allow these contracts to potentially be used for projects using grant funding. It has been our experience that the level and type of work that we contract for under these agreements does not warrant the hiring of full-time staff with the specialized skills needed. And with that, I would be happy to answer any questions.
Questions? Mr. Ashcraft.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Crowell, before next week, if we could visit a little bit, I am interested in your process, learning a little bit more if I could.
Yes, definitely.
Consent or action?
Let's keep it on action.
All right, action noted. Next item.
Item number 7, consider authorizing a multi-year agreement with Technology Group Solutions, TGS, for the purchase of Cisco licenses, software, maintenance, and support in the amount not to exceed $762,653.40 per State of Kansas contract 78258.
Mr. Nixon.
Bill Nixon, Department of Technology and Innovation. As noted, this is a multi-year agreement for renewal of our hardware and software related to our network equipment and also the call center. We're doing this as a multi-year agreement so that we can avoid some costs and get some better pricing, basically. So there's 3 different agreements that are part of this. One is a 5-year agreement for most of our network equipment. And by doing that 5-year agreement, over the life of the 5 years, we expect to avoid about $263,000 in cost. The second agreement is for our call center. This is a 3-year agreement, and we're shortening that term because there's some other call center software that is co-termed to this agreement. So we may, we want to take advantage of that. So if we do want to change our call center, we'll be able to do it in bulk. But by doing that 3-year agreement, we're going to save or avoid about $46,000. And then there's a 1-year agreement, which is associated with network hardware. We're doing that as a 1-year agreement because it's effective basically that way, because the network equipment will change year over year. So it doesn't make sense to do a multi-year agreement. This is going through a Kansas competitive agreement, which has good pricing, and we did consider other alternatives as noted in the briefing sheet.
Questions? Mr. Ashcraft.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Nixon, I appreciate very much the kind of the cost-benefit analysis component. It helps understand the potential value of the multi-year approach. Before next week, if you could elaborate, I'd like to learn about your concept of good pricing and how particularly in this technology, how you determine that and how you argue that. So I have no objections to this, Mr. Chairman, so consent would be fine as far as I'm concerned.
Other comments? All right, it'll go on consent. Thank you, Mr. Nixon.
Thank you.
Next item.
Item number 8, consider authorizing a contract with the Control Service Company, CSC, as a sole source exception to competition for the upgrade of the Building Automation System, BAS, at FAC Facility Operations Warehouse in the amount not to exceed $156,000 per county purchasing administrative policy and procedure number 110.180.A.4.
Mr. Reinhardt, before I ask for your comments, I do want to say a special thank you to you for your professional service that you have provided to the community of Johnson County in your role as Director of Facilities. And there have been several significant projects that have been under your responsibility. And I understand there's a retirement coming up. So thank you, congratulations, and we appreciate your good work.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Nylander. I appreciate that. Just please understand there is a tremendous team within facilities, and certainly the county manager contributes to the success that we have with facilities management and certainly any success I've had. So thank you for the kind words, and I will miss a lot of things, many things about Johnson County, and it's been a wonderful experience. So I appreciate everything
Including
you've
some
done
of us,
for us.
Mr. Chairman. Not all of us, but some of us.
No, thank you. I
He
wasn't
isn't
expecting
answering
that. I'm still queued up for a couple more visits up here before I go, so, but thank you.
I'll wait.
All right, good morning. Thank you. I'm Brad Reinhardt with Facilities Management. The scope of this project includes replacing the existing building automation system at the Facility Operations Warehouse with a new automated logic brand of controls system. All heating, ventilating, and air conditioning systems and components at this facility will be controlled by this new system. The existing BAS is at end of life and currently does not control all the HVAC systems within the facility. Installation of a new building automation system at this location is estimated to have a payback in just under 10 years. By optimizing the control of the HVAC at this facility, we're able to reduce energy consumption and more tightly control the conditioned environments for the museum, collection storage area, the courts record storage area, archives, and the facility's office and warehouse space. This request also includes an exception to competition, request for Control Service Company for installation of this new system. Control Service Company is the exclusive dealer for automated logic in this region. They provide all products, training, service, installation, and warranty work for the automated logic brand of systems installed within their territory. Facilities has standardized on automated logic for our building automation system. There are currently 4 other brands of control systems used throughout our portfolio of buildings. As those systems reach their end of life, Facilities is replacing with automated logic. So we have experience in using all these systems, but automated logic is our preferred choice. The use of a single BAS platform across our portfolio of buildings provides several benefits. These benefits include fewer systems for which to provide training to our maintenance team. Our maintenance teams can support other buildings more effectively when necessary. There's one software package to maintain, and all parts and service and training are provided by one vendor control service company. This project was approved as part of the FY 2021 Capital Improvement Program under our Energy Efficiency Measures project, and the contract amount will be up for $156,000. Our design consultant, Smith & Boucher, prepared the bid documents and reviewed control service company's bid, and along with facilities management, they recommend they be contracted for this work. And with that, I will stand for any questions.
Questions? Mr. Ashcraft.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Reinhardt, I very much appreciate the attempt to identify the ROI in doing this. It helps me understand the importance of it and the validity of the cost savings. Those are estimates. There's no guarantee by the vendor here that we will realize specific amounts, is there?
No, this is analysis that we've done in-house with our energy manager and our maintenance teams.
Okay. And in the future, if we were to find, sometimes companies evolve and their service levels change somewhat, this doesn't prevent us from migrating to other service providers if that were to happen, does it?
No, it does not.
Very good.
Other questions?
This go on consent?
You want consent?
And I'm good with that.
Any objection? All right, so noted. Thank you very much, Mr. Reinhardt.
Thank you.
Are there other items?
No, sir.
All right, that concludes our agenda review. We are adjourned. A reminder that we continue in recess from our business session, and our executive session will begin in about 6 or 7 minutes. We will be in the conference room, and following the executive session, we will come back into this area for conclusion of our regular business session. Thank you.